Hi, my name is Peter Brusso, and this is a podcast from iGoogle Friendly on the importance of keywords. Lots of people misunderstand keywords or actually don't even know what they are. So in this podcast, we're going to help explain what they are and how you use them. A keyword is something that defines your website, your industry, your business. Keywords will also be used all across your Web 2.0 properties. If you have a blog, which is a Web 2.0 property, you will use your keywords on those blogs pointing back at your site. Google, Yahoo, and Bing figure out who you are by the use of your keywords, so therefore they're really the foundation of your entire website and all your Web 2.0 properties. And this is very important to understand. So most webmasters will just grab a bunch of keywords that are in your industry and throw them in the meta tags, which is the code on your site, for example. And they think that's all there is to it. And that's not really good, and it actually hurts you. Keywords have to be researched. They are researched with tools to find keywords that fall into three categories for your website or your industry. First, they have to be popular. They have to be searched daily. A certain amount of searches daily is a minimum to a maximum. If you pick keywords, which I have done in the past before we had these great and wonderful tools, you think that it's certainly in your industry and people search for, just to find out no one searches for that keyword. So you wasted all that time. So by using these tools, you can scientifically drive home onto popular search terms in your industry. Now, once you find popular search terms, the next category that they have to pass is a competition category. How many people are using that same keyword? In other words, how much competition do you have to try to rank for that keyword? What I mean by that is, if you have to get into a boxing ring, the competition, you don't want to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example. You want to do a wimp or a geek, something like that, to have to beat up. You don't want to have to go toe-to-toe with the big boys and then try to move up on a first page search results out of Google using a keyword that is extremely competitive. So you find keywords that are popular, and then you find keywords that are or have low competition values. The third one that we look at is commerciality. The commerciality index factor to a keyword, and this is pretty bizarre, but Google can track who buys stuff from websites based on keywords. So what you don't want to do is to get a keyword that has a bunch of looky-loos and nobody buys anything. If you're selling something, that is, for sure, whether that's a product or a service, you really need to pay attention to the commerciality index factors for keywords. So once you've got your keywords, a handful, that can be anywhere from 3 to 10, for example, now you use them on your website and your 2.0 properties, but you have to use them very specifically. iGoogle Friendly suggests that you never use your keywords more than 1% of your keyword density to your on-page words. For example, if your ad copy has 100 words in it, ad copy being, of course, the words on your site, you could have no more than 1% of your keywords sprinkled in there. And so you'd use one keyword in one paragraph, maybe another keyword in another paragraph, but you wouldn't duplicate it. Some people talk you can go as high as 2%. And then in that case, you can use 2 for every 100 words, generic words you have on your site. That's not the only place you place keywords. Keywords also have to be strategically placed in your meta tags, only for the ones you use on that page, and also used in strategic other places on your site, like in captions, links, etc. iGoogle Friendly can help you with your keyword research and then moving those keywords into your current internet website and other 2.0 properties. Everything is based on those. Now, let's make no mistake. Just because you have some good keywords and you put them in your website doesn't mean that tomorrow morning you're going to wake up and be on the first page of Google. That's not going to happen. What you then have to do is all of your what we call off-page SEO or search engine optimization techniques have to be designed to use those keywords. Those would be social media, directory submissions, review sites, all sprinkling your keywords pointing back to your site. So Google will see that your site ranks for these keywords. Those keywords are important. You've identified them. They understand now. Now you can start to rank towards the first page by using strategic SEO types of approaches or off-page approaches for your website. Let's take a look at some code in a website just to show you where the keywords are. And I'll pick a site that utilizes these keywords, and not to pick on any site that is. So if it's your site, I'm sorry, but let's take a look at the code and see what we can see. Now here we are at webpagesatsuck.com, and it's an interesting site. A lot of designers have used it. I've used it for many, many years. It's been around since 2005. Actually a little bit more than that, actually. But at any rate, and they also have a book, and it's pretty interesting. They do look at designs and helps to show designers and stuff the do's and don'ts. But at any rate, we're going to pick this Constellation 7 website out to take a look at here. And it's pretty hideous, obviously. But that's not why we're here necessarily. This is the worst that it gets. But the big thing here, see, you got all kinds of error messages popping up here. Get those out of the way. But basically, here's the source code that makes up that site. Now, what's interesting, here are their keywords here, which I'm not beating up on religion by any means, because I am a religious individual. Many people are. And but now to utilize these particular keywords are something that you've got to really think about, what the competition is and research them, and they haven't. So I stripped the list down here to get it ready and found out, of course, they spelled archaeology wrong. One of the major pieces of keywords is make sure you at least spell them correctly if you're going to go use them. Now, over here is a tool that we use, and you can see here God is searched 1 million times, 1,000,008 searches a day. This is a daily search with 634 million web pages using the word God. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger on steroids. You're not going to compete for that keyword. This is not happening. And so you can go down here and look at the competition values. And where can you compete? So usually around 100,000. There's a couple down here you might compete for. Holy Scripture, biblical archaeology spelled wrong, by the way. Somebody actually looks for that, spelled wrong. That 79 times a day has 160,000 competitive web pages. And as we talked about earlier, some things, Constellation 7 Ministries is never searched. So you would never utilize that as a keyword or spend any money on trying to push that keyword out there. And of course, there's only 3 pages with it on it. It's their page, no doubt. So keywords are extremely important. We talked about the commercial index value. And if we pop in $1 in here, we can find out as a filter, who paid. Well, obviously, let's go take the AdWords value. These are what you'd spend if you wanted to do AdWords to try to rank for that stuff. But let's go take the AdWords off and do the SEO value. Let's make it $1 as a minimum. And you can see here that people have spent lots of money. People that have used Jesus as a keyword, matter of fact, money-wise, they've spent a lot of money out there. So this tells you, of course, keywords that suck, keyword sites that suck. I put that keyword in there just to make this happen, and of course, nobody buys that. So having a commercially indexed index value here is really, really important. And keywords are vital as a basis for your particular website. Well, in summary, I hope you enjoyed your brief look at keywords and how important they really are for the foundation of the things that you do on the internet. We at iGoogle Friendly want to thank you for listening to this podcast, and please tune in for more valuable podcasts.